There are machines, and then there are legends. Machines fade, legends burn. In the late 1980s, the world was loud, bright, chaotic. Technology was racing forward. Excess was a fashion statement, and the world of motorsport felt like a battlefield of pride and honor. In Maranello, behind old brick walls and rolling Italian hills, Ferrari was quietly shaping the last car Enzo Ferrari would ever see completed in his lifetime, the Ferrari F40. Some say it didn't just roll out of a factory, it arrived, like a spark from a meteor, like a red flash of anger, from the heart of a man who wanted to prove something one last time. They say Enzo Ferrari was weary by the late 1980s. Not tired, no, never tired, but aged, like the leather of an old race glove. The world around him was changing. Electronic aids, hydraulic assists, computers whispering into the driver's ear. He did not want that. A Ferrari should speak to the driver, he once said, not the other way around. So the F40 was built without compromise. No traction control, no power steering, no fancy screens, no unnecessary comforts, just speed and truth. Beneath its feather-light skin, Kevlar, carbon fiber, and Nomex honeycomb sat a 2.9-liter twin-turbo V8, 478 horsepower officially, while many whispered the number was closer to 500. A car so light, so sharp, that pressing the accelerator felt more like issuing a command to the air itself. One journalist described it as a brick of dynamite wrapped in red silk. Another said, it does not want to be driven, it wants to be survived. But the numbers, the engineering, the specs, those aren't what turned it into a myth. It was the feeling. Talk to anyone who owned one, or simply saw one, or just heard one. They'll tell you where they were standing. They'll tell you the time of day. They'll tell you what the sky looked like. That is the effect of legends. In Monaco, crowds paused mid-sentence when one passed, its exhaust crackling like fireworks in a long, hot canyon. In Tokyo, teenagers pressed their faces against showroom glass, leaving foggy circles of breath and dreams. In Los Angeles, collectors whispered its price like a secret. In London, people spoke of it as if it were a wild animal. No one could feel it tame. And yet inside it was bare. Stripped carpets, door pull straps instead of handles, a dashboard so simple it reminded you of a fighter jet, just enough to launch, maneuver, and hope. If you want luxury, Ferrari seemed to say, buy a sofa. This car was not built to comfort you. It was built to challenge you, to ask with every roaring upshift, are you worthy? The F40 touched people, not because they could all drive it, but because it embodied a feeling that was already slipping away. A feeling that machines should have soul. In Maranello, mechanics who worked on it remember the smell of resin and metal dust. They remember the weight of panels you could lift with one hand. They remember Enzo walking slowly through the workshop, watching, listening, nodding silently, not approving, not praising, but acknowledging. One engineer said, when we finished it, we realized we had built something that felt alive. Car enthusiasts call the F40 a time capsule, a locked room of Ferrari's purest philosophy. But for many, it is more than that. It is the memory of posters on childhood bedroom walls, of plastic model kits on cluttered desks, of a dream that felt too large to belong to any one life. And yet, the F40 made that dream feel possible. Even if you never touched one, even if you only saw it once, roaring past like a flare through your timeline, you remember. Then, Enzo Ferrari passed away. And suddenly, the F40 was no longer just a car. It was a goodbye letter, a signature signed in gasoline, a final declaration. What mattered was purity, emotion, the connection between man and machine. In an era that would soon drown in computer screens and safety nets, the F40 stood like a knight of the old world, uncompromising and unafraid, a racing car wearing number plates, daring the world to keep up. Today, when one appears, even among hypercars, with 4 times the power, it doesn't seem outdated, it seems eternal. We see owners driving them in the rain, on mountain passes, down narrow Italian roads, not locking them away like artifacts, but living with them. Because the F40 is not precious, it's alive. A legend should never be silenced in glassed cages. So here's to the red comet that cut across the automotive sky, to the sound of its turbo filling the air with electric tension, to the smell of gasoline and heat, to the silhouette that still turns heads, even in the age of electric whispers. The Ferrari F40 was not built to be perfect. It was built to be unforgettable. And it is.